What the fuck is up? Make sure this motherfucker is recording. And it is. Time to make a motherfucking Friday malt motherfucking liquor video. As you can see, I did Juicy the fucking J. I did Colt the 45. I did malt the liquor. Did in fact glass the 40-ounce container, which will be left face out for the duration of the video because label the fuck out. Shout out to BMT, back on the scene, new channel. Fucking did a 3:30 in the morning cemetery video, creepy as fuck. And he did not consume any alcohol in it. Shout out to fucking Troy for making non-alcoholic videos. Malt liquor. Troy also did a video response about a ghost story or paranormal experience. I'd like to thank him for that. So, I guess I could tell a couple personal paranormal stories. House I grew up in, lived in it till I was about 4 or 5 years old. Actually, it was my grandparents' house, and when my mom and dad had me, they moved in with my dad's parents in this house. And my dad had younger siblings that were still in high school and stuff, and they also lived there. And the previous owner, the man who had built the house, died in the house, and so did one of his older sons. I think one of the sons choked to death, and then the dad had like a heart attack or some shit. But when he built it, he had used like beams and shit out of an old church, and repurposed a bunch of shit from all these different places to build this house. He was kind of like a salvage guy, and he used some of the shit to build the house. But I remember, hearing them tell all the stories about waking up in the middle of the night, and the typewriter would be going off in the office by itself. Maybe quick. It would be going off in the office by itself, and they'd go in there to unplug it, and it would already be unplugged, and it's just still going by itself. Or getting up early in the morning, get ready for school and work, go in the bathroom, and the shower is on, the water's running hot, nobody else in the house is awake, but somebody's, gone in to cut all the water and shit on. And then my mother and grandmother said that they came home from the grocery store and seen like an apparition, like half in the wall, half out of the wall. And, just something you don't expect two people to just make up and lie about for the past 30-some years, And then also in Richmond we have a cemetery called Hollywood Cemetery, and in high school we had a bunch of friends who got all into the fucking ghosts and shit like that, so we would go investigate all these fucking areas and shit. We ended up at Hollywood Cemetery one night at like, 1 o'clock in the morning, and just didn't really see anything, but just being in a place like that, you psych yourself up. It's fucking ridiculous. I'll save some stories. I won't tell them all today. What's going on? The dog's digging a fucking hole. Something I can twist my ankle in one night walking out here. What the fuck else? I don't even know. Just rambling. Don't really got much to say. Out here burning some fucking trash. Fucking Amazon Prime That shit, they'll deliver that shit like the same day, the next day, whatever. Since we got that shit, we have so many cardboard boxes and shit because it's like, it seems like 2-3 times a week shit's coming in the mail. So I'm like, fuck. Don't fill up the fucking drag to the front trash can. I'm like, I'll set that shit out back and I'll just burn it a couple times a week. And you got other shit, you know, boxes that shit comes in from the grocery store and all that. I'll just burn that shit. Ashes to ashes and dust to dust. Oh, and I heard another good quote. If you can't pay the piper, don't dance to the fucking music. And that was in reference to abortion. You know, he was talking about just irresponsible people that have sex and was like, oh, you know, I'll have an abortion or whatever. I don't agree with that, but shit like somebody being raped or, you know, for the health of the mother, shit like that, I can understand that. But just being an irresponsible fucking person, no. And then I was listening to this fucking podcast, and they had a guy on that was stationed at Area 51, I think from 2010 to 2014 or 2013, and he was talking about some of the stuff that he saw, and he was saying how he was on location as like guard detail, and he was talking about how the outer perimeter, like shit you see on TV, when you see people go up to the gate and they get turned off, you know, turned away, those are like government contractors. They're not even like military personnel. But once you get closer in, shit, you know, really starts to tighten up. And I think he said that there's like 12 to 15 layers underneath the salt bed. Not layers, but stories. Like the insulation is built down that deep, and with his clearance, he could only get to like the 5th floor or whatever. You know, he said the deeper it got, the more classified things were, and the higher clearance you had to have. And he was talking about some stuff where he was out there, you know, doing like direct, like on scene protection or patrol or whatever. And he said that the Air Force has these exoskeletons called Beowulf armor, which I ended up, when I got home last night, I looked that shit up. It's fucking incredible. It's like 10 feet tall. It's like somebody steps into like the fucking suit from Halo or whatever. You know, I mean, it kind of even looks like that, you know. And the soldier gets into this exoskeleton and works it. And they were lifting up fucking cars and just doing like incredible, taking 50 cal fire, just shot after shot after shot with no penetration or nothing. Yeah, it was pretty fucking badass, man. And then he was talking about these other, you know, things that he had seen in development and shit like that. And I was like, that's pretty fucking crazy. But he ended up telling this story about when he got out of the military, he started working for a government contractor, and they were doing surveillance on like a sleeper cell or something, which he said all that him and his team were there to do was like go and scout, get recon, and watch the people, you know. And he said they went in at night, and I can't remember, there was some national park that was close to that, and he said that they were clearing, and they were up on a hill in the woods, and he had 2 people across from it, and they were doing surveillance in this group, and he said they had like 2 sheds in the middle of this field. And he said that they had 2 sheds in the middle of the field, and they had made like a walkway in between the 2 sheds by cutting a hole in the back of each of the sheds. Anyway, he said that while they were there, they were investigating. They seen the 2 sheds, and they could see people walking around back and forth, going in and out of the 2 sheds. And he said all of a sudden, out of nowhere, there was this high-pitched, like, frequency sound, and then a big flash of light from one of the sheds. And he said when that happened, it knocked out all of their communication between everybody. It knocked out their night vision goggles and shit. And he said about 3 minutes later, all that shit came back online. And then the commanding officer was telling them, you know, let's just stay here, keep visuals on the people and what's going on down there. And he said after like 30 minutes, they didn't see any more movement or anything. Once the flash happened, you know, they didn't see the people anymore. So he said the commanding officer told everybody to go down and get a full investigation. So he said he got down there, and there was nothing in the first shed but like a bunch of maps that had different cities on it and shit like that. And then they walked through the covered walkway over to the other one, and it was a table with like 4 chairs around it. The 4 chairs were drilled into the concrete floor, and they all had chains on them, like they had people chained up on there. But the people that they had watched walk around the fucking building, you know, in and out and shit, were completely gone, like just vanished, you know. And he said once they got back and were debriefed and shit, they were told to just forget that, you know, what they had seen that night had ever happened. You know, and the guy was like, that's not something that you can just forget. I love hearing those kind of stories anyway. Nothing like a good fucking conspiracy or ghost story or some shadow government shit, you know. Get you thinking. Looks like the fire's about off, just fucking smoking. Where the fuck is everybody? It's been a slow week on fucking videos. I don't know. I just cannot wait to start this new fucking job in January. Same place, just new position. Which will work a lot better for me. And pay a lot better. The fucking Reverend is on the rise, folks. Kicking ass, taking names. And if you're into fucking conspiracies and ghosts and serial killers and true crime and all kind of shit like that, I don't know if I've mentioned it before, it's a podcast, you can get it on iTunes. It's called The Last Podcast on the Left. Somebody like Troy would definitely like that. I can see I Hate Bud Light, fucking Hell to Pay, getting into some shit like that, Chili Palmer, you know. It's 3 comedians. The one guy, Henry Zabrowski, he plays on Your Pretty Little Faces Going to Hell. He was on Heroes. He was in The Wolf of Wall Street. The other guy is Ben Kissel. He's, you know, a stand-up comedian in New York, and he's played in, you know, small parts here and there. But he's on one of these shows on Fox News called, like, Red Eye. I think it comes on in the middle of the night. He's like a frequent panelist on there. And then the other guy is Marcus Parks. He's kind of like the guy that does all the research and shit like that on the topic of the video. And it's pretty funny because, you know, they're like comedians. They talk about like serious shit, but then they're also talking about just, you know, off the wall shit, you know, making fun of stuff and just, you know, it's crazy. But that's where the guy was telling the story about the exoskeleton armor and the shit in that field. It was like Mesa something National Park. I can't remember what the fuck it was called. It was still in Nevada because it was not far from where he was stationed at Area 51 when he was there. The last podcast on the left. It's pretty fucking awesome. They normally put up 1 episode a week. And the one they just put up now is Richard Chase, the vampire of Sacramento. He's a serial killer, I think in the 70s and 80s. I don't know. I've only listened to about half of it. But shit like that just fascinates me. You know, paranormal shit, true crime, serial killers, conspiracies. I don't really get much into the fucking alien shit, you know. I'm more apt to believe that there's fucking ghosts and spirits and shit than fucking and demons than fucking aliens, but you know, I mean, I believe that there are aliens, I just don't. Those stories don't intrigue me as much, UFOs, shit like that, I don't know. Not my thing. More into fucking ghosts, demons, fucking government cover-ups and shit. I don't know how to do it, man, but that is an absolutely perfect swill call. So I'm gonna have to go ahead and do it. February 20th, 2017. Malt motherfucking liquor. The only way to go. The only way to fly. Works every fucking time. A little creepy music. A couple good stories. Well, you be the judge of that. I'm gonna get this done. I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. May make some videos over the weekend. I don't know. I can't make any promises. Malt liquor. Didn't Reggie it. Didn't Druid it. None of Dwarf's motherfucking phone. Dwarf's motherfucking phone. None of Dwarf's motherfucking foam. Fuck you, Dwarf. We are the fuck out of here. Malt liquor.